Go live. All right. Good afternoon. Hello and welcome to the Omni Coalition News Show, aka TOCNS. Where's my script? This show is a dive into the weird, obscure, bizarre, and other words for strange world of notable events, weather, and sports, covering topics if seldomly, if ever, seen from most news sources these days. Join us as during a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss for the most part. For links to these articles and anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar in the description below. And, of course, anything added throughout the show will be posted after the live stream. Yeah, as per usual, I have yet to add in that thing as I do with the history show. Anyway, I am Xander. You are you. We may or may not have the Loon in today, and we may or may not have Allison. We'll see what the future holds for us. You viewer are you, and today is Freya's Day, aka Friday, November 24th, 2023. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, if of course you celebrate that, out here in the United States, or North America at least. Canada celebrates their Thanksgiving about a month prior, but that's Canada, who cares about them? Anyway, moving on up, let's get into the news today, shall we? Starting us off from Audio Central, we have a Japanese man becomes famous for cosplaying as cute girl and fooling everyone. It's a trap! It's a trap! I need to get a new soundboard and add that in. Anyway, it says here, Hymeni is a Japanese male influencer who rose to fame by cosplaying as a young, cute girl and then giving himself away by speaking in a deep voice. Japan is home to many cosplayers who choose to wear female clothes and fool everyone with their appearance, but Hymeni is one of the few who uses his talent to create funny content for his online fans. Hymeni's cosplaying talent is superb, but he is actually famous for his funny videos, in which he either interacts with random people, speaking in a loud voice while disguised as a girl, or stages sketches while filmed by a friend. It's a trap! Don't fall for it! But yeah, things like this are becoming more and more, mainstream and into normal, and really, really concerning for the future and betterment of humanity, because what's stopping people, from using this for malicious reasons, and entrapping people, and, you slept with a guy, I don't know, societal standards are, different all over the world, and, things like this really concerning for what's happening to humanity as a whole, if this is what we're doing. Anyway, let's move on up here. More from Audio Central. New $2 million water fountain in Vienna slammed as world's ugliest. And, I have a thing or two to say about modern art versus what's going on today. A new water fountain in the Austrian city of Vienna, oh god, Austria, oh no, has been described as the ugliest in Europe, possibly the world, despite costing 1.8 million euros or $2 million. Created by the avant-garde Viennese art group Gelatin, the Austrian capital's newest water fountain was commissioned by local authorities to commemorate 150 years of Vienna's modern water system, which provided the city with fresh water from streams in the green forests of the Alps and helped eradicate plagues like cholera. The new landmark design apparently symbolizes the communal responsibility for water, and while it did win over the jury that selected Getlin as the winner, it hasn't done so well with the general public, especially considering its astronomical price of $2 million US. When it comes to things like this, especially like major art pieces, in metropolitan areas, more than just a committee should be voting for this. The people, this is their physical world. They should have a say in what does and what doesn't go on. But look at, oh my god, that is absolutely hideous. We have a peanut sticking out its tongue over there. We have what appears to be a butt with, oh wait, no, that's the guy's arm. I thought that was a tumor on the butt. Then we have a very flat-chested female, although the nipples are there. And we have some more females there with more pronounced nipples, like Madonna, anyone with that? But my god, that is absolutely hideous. Who is texting me? Alice, why are you texting me? Alice, stop texting me. I'm in the show, dang it. Anyway, this is absolutely hideous of a statue, and I feel very sorry for everyone living in there. Anyway, let's move on up. More from Audio Central. Blue-tongued lizard defends itself by sticking its tongue out to press. Stop texting me! The blue-tongued skink, a lizard native to the Australian continent, has a rather bizarre defense mechanism. It sticks its bright blue tongue out to predators as they actually run away sometimes. A subspecies of Tiliquus syncoides, the blue tongue skink, that sounds like a slur, is one of only 5 animals known to have blue tongues, the other being the Chow Chow dog breed, the giraffe, the impala, I thought that was a car, and the okapi. Oh, the okapi has a blue tongue? That's it. What is an impala? Let's look that up here really quick, actually. Impala animal. Let's see here. Oh, okay, one of those. Okay. Alright. With a blue-tongued skink feels threatened, it will start sticking out its blue tongue rapidly, and the contrasting blue tongue against the pink background of its mouth will actually make some animals think twice before attacking it. It sounds weird, but there is actually a logical explanation behind this unique defense strategy. So look at that. It looks like it's eating an ocean sponge or something. So that's, and that is a really big, tongue. Wow. Gene Simmons ain't got nothing on this guy. Let's see, it has bright colors in animals tend to indicate that they are either poisonous or venomous, and while the blue-tongued skink is neither, its bright blue tongue can fool hungry predators into thinking that it is. Dart frogs are the perfect example of the toxic and colorful association in nature, and the blue-tongued skink just uses it as a trick. And very much like nature, the human world, has, bright, vivid colors, as a warning to how toxic that creature actually is. Look towards anybody with blue or purple hair or, rainbow hair or whatever. It's a warning. Don't interact with this person. So, anyway, what else do we got here? Polnug Beast, Ireland's naturally rectangular rock pool. All right. What did she send me? Not that color of... Okay, yeah. Anyway, what does this say? Irish... Inishmore, the largest of Ireland's Aran Islands, is home to a remarkable natural wonder, a rectangular pool cut so straight into limestone that it looks man-made. Also known as the wormhole or the serpent's lair, Polnabbeast is a natural water basin with an edge length of approximately 10 by 25 meters with a stone formation. Within a stone formation. It can only be accessed by walking along the cliffs south of the ancient site Dun Aongadhasha, but in recent years it has become famous for hosting the renowned Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series. The most fascinating thing about Polnabbeast, if anybody knows how to pronounce that correctly, please let me know in the comments section, is its remarkable rectangular shape, which has led many to question its natural origins and sparked several theories, including that it was the work of an ancient civilization. That is rather unusual, but we know that non-natural shapes do occur in nature, like the hexagon, the path of giants or whatever it's called. Like we have several of those, on our world as well. But if you look at the poles of Jupiter and Saturn, it's more visible on Jupiter. It is hexagonal, and that is not man-made. Definitely not. So it says here the unusual formation features underwater channels that connect to the sea. Water flows into the Polnabbeast through a subterranean cavern, or sometimes waves crash over at high tide, filling it from the top. The pool is around 300 meters deep and features underground channels through which the currents surge and retreat from the open sea, threatening to suck unsuspecting swimmers into the ocean. So yeah, be careful when messing around over there. But yeah, so it looks like they do dives directly into that, cliff diving in Ireland. Let's get rid of that sound. So let's see here. Yeah, there's okay, the ocean. Show us the thing. Okay, all these people applauding. Come on. Like, so okay, they're cliff diving. Show me cliff diving. There we go. So they're cliff diving directly into that thing. That's pretty cool. That's pretty wicked right there. What else do we have here? Doctors find living fly in man's intestines during colonoscopy. Now, this is not really that unheard of. Well, actually, it is rather unheard of, but it's not impossible. And I'll explain why after I read this. Doctors in Missouri got the shock of their lives during a routine colonoscopy when they came across a fully developed fly living in the patient's traverse colon. The American Journal of Gastroenterology recently published a bizarre case of a 63-year-old man who had a fly living inside his intestines. The man had shown up for a routine colon cancer screening earlier that year, and doctors at a Missouri hospital conducted a colonoscopy, a procedure in which a camera is inserted in the intestines to check for any abnormalities. I myself have had one. This is exactly what the physicians found while exploring the patient's traverse colon, the area at the top of the large intestine, an intact fly that had somehow survived the gastric acid and was chilling inside the man's body. Now, as I said, this had, like, I was introduced to this actually just a few weeks ago watching, what was the show? I forgot the name of the show. But, like, they review crazy videos from all over the world and everything. And in this one, there was a live ladybug inside a patient. Now, here's what most likely have happened. Because of the procedure leading up to the colonoscopy, you got to flush yourself clean. You know, you don't want a dirty colon for them. They can't see through all the filth. So you got to, you know, like, not just fast, but take chemicals to flush your system clean so, you know, they can get a really proper reading. With that said, it is very likely, well, the most likely case scenario is that the fly or the ladybug, in this example I'm talking about, somehow got into, you know, the digestive system, you know, orally, you know, whatever, like, you know, somehow got in through the mouth, and because of the chemicals and whatnot, having everything, you know, be flushed, instead of being digested in the stomach, it continued going on and got pushed into the intestines and the colon and survived because everything's on its way out and it just didn't get scooped out, you know, after it got in. That's probably what happened with this fly. Very interesting. So, what else do we have here? Chinese bed making competitions are surprisingly mesmerizing to watch. This is interesting. China's hospitality sector routinely holds bed-making competitions that both showcase the skill and dedication of hotel employees and motivate others to achieve the same level. In order to provide guests with the best hospitality services, Chinese luxury hotels require their staff to undergo intensive bed-making training, and the very best of them get to participate in bed-making competitions hosted by the hotel chain or held at a regional or national level. And these contests are no joke. Participants need to be masters of their trade to stand a chance of convincing the jury that they deserve to win. Apart from speed, the first contestant to finish gets bonus points. Competitors have to abide by certain rules and make sure that they pay great attention to detail. So, let's see a video of this bed making competition. So, they're just putting on the sheets. Alright. Alright. So they're not just like rushing the job. They're doing it fast but precise. And they're doing, you know, that fold. My dad does that fold. So when he does his sheets, I don't tuck anything. I live in a pile. So like, but so they're doing all that. This is a lot longer than I thought it would be. But if anybody's interested, the link is down. You know what? I'm going to add this into the underbar, the description section. This is a collected link. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, so that way you can just go straight to that if you want. Anyway, let's move on up. Mysterious hum keeps Irish town residents awake at night. And more of these mysterious hums, loud booms, loud bangs, mystery noises, skyquakes, whatever it is happening. So the people of Omagh, a small town in Northern Ireland, have been complaining about a mysterious humming sound that can be heard at night and disrupts their sleep. In recent weeks, the Omagh District Council has actively been trying to identify the source of a nighttime noise that several residents from all over the small Northern Ireland town have been complaining about. Unfortunately, all their efforts so far have ended in failure, leaving them with no other choice but to call in sound experts to solve the mystery. People usually characterize it as a persistent buzz or a hum that differs, from the sound of passing vehicles that can only be heard late at night, usually around 12 in the morning to 1. While some have gotten used to it, others claim that it has been interfering with their night's sleep and demand that something to be done about it. Well, buy some noise-canceling headphones, buy some earplugs, until they fix it, it's not fixed. So you just gotta deal with it, one way or another. Anyway, I'm getting some acid reflux here. Be careful with those Thanksgiving leftovers, people. Don't eat too much. Anyway, more from Oddity Central here. This Silver Swan automaton is a 250-year-old mechanical marvel. Ooh, what is this? Created in 1774. Wow. To impress royalty and their guests, the Silver Swan automaton remains an impressive, intricate mechanical wonder that continues to captivate audiences. Built for royalty that ended up changing their minds, the Silver Swan is one of the most famous automatons in history. It was put together at the Mechanical Museum of James Cox, a London jeweler, an 18th century entrepreneur using an internal mechanism designed by inventor John Joseph Merlin. The chased repose silver body of the swan conceals 3 clockwise mechanisms that control a music box, a pool of glass with swimming silver fish, and the lifelike movements of the majestic bird's neck and head. Seeing the silver swan in action, it's easy to forget that this mesmerizing mechanical marvel is no less than 250 years old. So let's see if they have a video of it. Let's see. Okay, we hear clicking noises.
The International
Okay,
Exhibition.
show us the actual movement of the swan. I want to see the movement of the swan. Not. Alright, well, you know what? I'll just watch this at some other point myself. But if anybody wants to see this video themselves, you know, I'm going to add this in the underbar description post-show, as I usually say. Anyway, what else do we got here? Joke gone wrong. Retiring cook makes space cake for colleagues and gets sued. What? Okay. A retiring Dutch cook who wanted to say goodbye to her colleagues in a special way cooked a cannabis-infused space cake for them as a surprise. It didn't go well. Okay, I can see how things went south really quick. The retiring cook, known only as Mariska, had worked at a Zealand hotel alongside her colleagues for a long time and wanted to part ways with them in a memorable way. Well, you did it. They had discussed the cannabis-infused space cake many times in the past, but had never gotten around to actually making it together, so she decided to make one for them as a parting gift. On February 8th, on her last day of the job, she greeted her colleagues and left the workplace, but not before leaving behind a surprise cake for her colleagues, along with a note advising them to only eat it after working hours. Unfortunately, some of them just couldn't wait. And, you know, as we probably know how it ended, marijuana not being something any government of the world really likes fighting, because its cousin hemp is a direct threat to many multi-billion dollar global industries. So here we go. Not knowing that there was cannabis in the cake, 2 of Mariska's colleagues quickly ate a few slices, something they would end up regretting shortly. Yada yada yada. People got high and then they sued her. That's not cool. So, I mean, it's called a space cake. You've talked about it several times. If you're gonna be that forgetful, you have no grounds to sue. I'm gonna be on Mariska's side in this point. Should she have done it? No, but at the end of the day, it was a plan. They've talked about it. So, I mean, whatever, call it whatever you want. Statute of limitations. She should be let off the hook. And that's not just me being because I'm a stoner, me leaning that. No, just come on. Anyway, let's move on up. Book club has been reading the same difficult book for the last 23 or 28 years. Don't you hate it when you're reading and you're not paying attention, so you have to reread, but then you're rereading what you reread and you're not paying attention again because you've already reread it, and now you have to force yourself, and then now you're like, okay, and then you just screw it. So, here we go. Oh, well, this explains things, why they're having so much trouble reading. California, a California-based book club, has recently finished its first reading of James Joyce Finnegan's Wake, a notoriously difficult book that it started reading 28 years ago. James Joyce once said that the demand he makes of his reader is that they should devote his entire life to reading the books, and some people actually took those words to heart. Wow, what an egotist. Devote your life to reading my work? Wow. Wow. Well, how about I devote none of my life to reading any of your works? How about that? If you have that much of an ego on you, I don't want to read anything. For example, the members of a California book club have spent the last 28 years of their lives deciphering Finnegan's Wake page by page in an attempt to figure out its many mysteries. This is a book so difficult to read that no one person can truly say they get it, which makes it perfect for community reading. It's apparently written in a convoluted mix of reinvented words, puns, and allusions, referencing about 80 languages, and people can't even agree on where the book is set or who the characters are. Well, it sounds to me like it's just crap. If it's that difficult to understand, then it's not really a great work now, is it? So, no. James Joyce, awful writer, then. If you have that big of an ego and you make your work that convoluted, then it doesn't need to be out. It doesn't need to exist. Anyway, let's go on up into UPI. Unattended candy bag in backseat of car, too sweet to pass up for Colorado bear. Alright, so a basic story, Wildlife officials in Colorado said a bear went into a parked car to steal a bag of peanut M&Ms and left behind a smelly payment in the... Oh, lovely. So, well, you know, if you're in bear country, you know, I don't even need to read the rest of this. If you're in bear country, lock up any food. But that was just insult to injury. It didn't blah, blah, blah. It didn't need to take a crap on the back seat, but it did. So, get out of here, bear. No. What are you doing, bear? Get off my canoe. Anyway, more wildlife problems here. Hiker followed by 3 bears on California trail. I wonder if it was Goldilocks, you know, trying to run away from the 3 bears after they found out that she ate their porridge and slept in their beds. A California jogger captured video of her... It is a female! Harrowing encounter with a mother bear and her 2 cubs on the Sierra Madre Trail. The video posted to Instagram by Laura Gold. Oh, Goldilocks! Oh, are we getting a thing here? Oh, shows the mother bear and her cubs charging toward her on the trail and following as she attempts to back away from the area. The woman can be heard roaring in an attempt to ward off the animals. The hiker was eventually able to get away from the bears without injury. Alright, so someone named Gold walking away from 3 bears. I wonder if porridge and beds were involved in this story as well. That is a good question. So, anyway, what else do we got here? Man walks more than 34 feet on slackline while juggling knives. Alright, this is a weird way to one-up Britney Spears, but okay. A talented circus performer climbed onto a slackline in California. All these California stories. And walked at a distance of 34 feet 4 inches while juggling 3 knives. Guinness World Records said Edgar Yodikovich captured the record for the greatest distance traveled on the slackline while juggling 3 knives when he took on the challenge in Colorado. So, alright. So, Guinness World Record broken. Okay, cool. Let's start focusing on records that actually mean things. Like, outside of a record, what merit does this have in this world? Nothing. You're doing it just to do it. So it exists just to exist. You know, very much like how Paris Hilton is a celebrity just because she's actually a better example. The Kardashians are famous just because they're celebrity. Why are they celebrities? Because they're celebrity. They don't provide any actual merit other than what they are. So, yeah, take it for what you will. More from UPI here. Man tries to scare off birds, accidentally creates magpie god. What is that? Oh, I see what they... Okay, he made an effigy. A New South Wales, Australian man attempted to keep birds away from his cat's food with a homemade owl sculpture, but accidentally made a magpie god. Guilio Cozilla said he learned that magpies can be deterred with owl sculptures, but he didn't want to spend a lot of money on one, so he made his own out of paper mache and feathers. He said the magpies initially seemed to fear his sculpture, but eventually he started to approach it and engage in behaviors Cozilla said seemed like worship. Gesine Kaplan, emeritus professor in animal behavior at the University of New England, said the magpies in the video aren't actually showing deference to the owl sculpture. They're making territorial calls and trying to scare it away. So he believes he might have made a deidic effigy, but he did not. These magpies are actually, they really want the food, so they want to... Oh, ew, it's TikTok. Never mind. I'm sorry. I did not mean to click that. Whoops. But anyway, if you want to see it on TikTok, you can go to this link. I'm not even going to click anywhere to provide a link. I do not want anything to do with TikTok. Ew. But yeah, pretty interesting in animal behavior. What else do we got here? Drone show breaks 2 world records in Florida. Let's have a video break here.
Well, if you were driving down I-4 and you thought you spotted some UFOs, or you maybe thought you were hallucinating, I am here to assure you
that's pretty cool.
It was only drones. More than 1,000 of them assembled for an incredible show over the Orange County Convention Center. I mean,
I missed it!
Dropped my car.
I would have thought, well, the company behind the show, Sky Elements, chose this year's International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions Expo, or IAPA, to show...
All right, enough of that. But yeah, Sky Elements, a company specializing in drone light shows, broke the world records for the largest aerial image of a flag formed by drones and the largest aerial logo formed by drones at the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions Expo in Orlando. Oh, Florida. Okay, wrong Orange County. Okay. Well, not to dox myself, but yeah. The company used 1,600 drones to create an image of the American or U.S. flag and its own company logo. Well, that's pretty cool. So, wow, hold on a second. Let's get to let me bigger this.
Guinness World Records. One of them involved using drones to create the largest aerial image of a flag. The staff behind the show started at 9 this morning to get ready for the 6 o'clock.
I have to go back to this flag here. I have something I gotta do.
One of them involved using drones to create the largest aerial image of a flag.
America.
The staff behind the show started at 9 this morning to...
What else do we got here? Fish escapes death twice in 1 second from bird and a lizard. Whoa. One fish was just the luckiest as this escaped the beak of a bird and the teeth of a lizard all in a matter of seconds. Adele Snade, owner of ATM Creations and a wildlife photographer, captured the survival story while on safari in the Kruger National Park and shared it with latestsightings.com. Do they have the actual video here? That appeared first on Latest Sightings. Okay. So there's a fish, it escaped the bird, and then there's that lizard and everything. Reject, go away. So yeah. Alright, so I'm going to add this to the underbar of the description for anybody to go see straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, this article. Moving on up, more from UPI. Pilot helps book return to library across the country. That's pretty cool. We cover this every now and then. The Kansas Library shared the story of a children's book that was returned to the facility after being found by a pilot at an Atlanta airport. The Johnson County Library in Shawnee said on local media that the book, Whatever After If the Shoe Fits by Sarah Mlinowski, arrived in a package with a letter from a Delta Airlines pilot named Ben. Ben wrote that he found the book unattended in the B concourse at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport and decided to make sure it made it home safely. So that's pretty cool. You know, we every now and then we cover. This happens a lot more than you think, actually. There is actually another article. I'm not sure if I took it up, but there was another article from UPI about a 45 or 48-year-old overdue book returned. So this happens almost on a daily basis, actually. But it still, doesn't diminish what, it's really cool. Like, give the books back. Books are very important. Moving on up. Indian woman with 38 teeth earns Guinness World Record. Well, she's got more chompers than I do. Looks like she has some on the inside, too, right there. So, a 26-year-old woman from India was awarded a Guinness World Record for the number of teeth in her mouth, 38. Which I think the normal is, 36? Let me look it up. Normal teeth amounts, human adults. 32. Alright, and I'm down to 28. Actually, no. 27? Or maybe even less. Because I don't have any of my wisdom teeth. I got all 4 taken out at once. One of these 2 teeth, I forgot which one, is fake. So I'm down by 5 teeth, at least. But let's see here. Kalpana Balan has 6 more teeth in her mouth than the average adult, earning her the record for the most teeth in a person's mouth for the female. Guinness World Record is announced. Balan has 4 extra mandibular teeth in her lower jaw and 2 extra maxillary teeth in her upper jaw. Her extra chompers, known as supernumerary teeth, started growing in when she was a teenager, and she initially was going to have them removed, but dentists told her that she should wait until they finished coming in. Balan said she decided not to remove the teeth as they didn't cause her any pain. She said dentists have determined her record might increase in the future, and she has 2 more teeth that have yet to remove. Wow. So she might have the good old 4-0. That's pretty cool. It's, as long as they're not causing you any pain and disrupting anything, go for it. Keep them, lady. It's pretty cool. Good luck. What else do we got here? Blue balls, and not the kind you're thinking about, on British beaches originated from power plants. Well, we do need more women in that sector. So, anyway, thousands of mysterious blue rubber balls that washed up on British beaches in recent days originated from a power plant, officials said. The Tees Valley Wildlife Trust said the spongy rubber balls are used to clean pipes at the Hartlepool Power Station and occasionally spill out into the sea when too much pressure builds up. The trust is asking members of the public to report locations at which these balls wash up on the beach so energy company EDF, which operates the power plants, can retrieve them. Good. So they're making an effort to try to... But, you know, they should make more of an effort to catch them before they really go out to sea. So, I mean, you know, put up another net? I don't know. You know, like, they're not that small. So I don't know why they're getting washed out to sea. So, anyway. Moving on up to NPR, a car-sized tumbleweed made quite a scene on the California highway. A giant tumbleweed roughly the size of a Volkswagen Beetle was spotted hurtling its way down a 4-lane road in California this week. More California. What's going on with California this week? The jaunty brown bundle of brush was captured on video and posted on Thursday on Twixter, where it was gathered a number of fans who have compared it to a giant hairball, belly lint gone wild, and the critters from the eponymously named 1986 sci-fi horror movie. Oh, Critters. Okay, yeah. The poster of the video offered no information about the bouncing plant carcass other than to say it was the mother of all tumbleweeds. But that got us thinking, not just about cowboys in classic Western movies, but about where tumbleweeds came. Yeah, no, tumbleweeds were used as a weapon by Russia, some kind of biological weapon to do something against our thing. Let's see here. Here we go. One of the most common and most problematic form for the crops, problematic form crop for whatever, Russian thistle or Kali thagus. It is believed to have hitched a ride from Ukraine to South Dakota in a shipment of flaxseed back in the 1870s and has plagued the country's dry, arid lands ever since. Well, as I said, I believe it was used as biological warfare back in that time, but it could have very easily been just one seed. All it takes is one seed. All it takes is one rat, one mite to spread the plague. So, what else do we have? Colorado funeral home owners arrested following the discovery of 190 decaying bodies. Yikes! What is happening with this here? The owners of a Colorado funeral home were arrested Wednesday after nearly 200 decaying corpses were found improperly stored at their facility. John and Carrie Halford, the owners of the Return to Nature funeral home, were arrested on 4 felony charges, including abuse of a corpse, theft, money laundering, and forgery, according to a statement from the district attorney for Colorado's 4th Judicial District. Wow! The pair were taken into custody without incident in Wagoner, Oklahoma. Both are being held on bonds set at $2 million bail. Wow. The probable cause affidavit has been sealed, but District Attorney Michael Allen said that he would not contest releasing it to public at a later date. Go away, ad. Police first searched the funeral home located roughly 30 miles south of Colorado Springs in the town of Penrose on October 3rd after receiving a report of an abhorrent smell coming from the building. So yeah, they found the bodies and all that stuff. And this is a whole bag of hammers. So if anybody wants to read more about this, I'm going to read this more off camera. You know, what we do here on TOCNS, on the Omni Coalition Notable Events, Weather, and Sports Show, is we bring into light bringing to the public knowledge that this is happening, and encouraging people like you watching right now. Yes, I'm talking to you, whoever you are, to go to these sources and look into it more yourself. Never take what anybody has to say for granted. Never take anything for truth. Use everything as a stepping stone to figure things out yourself, because you will never be told the whole picture, ever. So, you know, that's just how I handle my life and everything. I look into reading. You know, these people put in the time and effort to make this article. I'm just reading it to you. I'm just some random nobody on YouTube reading stuff on YouTube. You know, so anyway. I'm going to keep that up. I want to read that later. How wildlife officials saved a humpback whale found hogtied to a 300-pound crab pot. Whoa, that is dangerous. Wildlife officials successfully rescued a humpback whale after it was discovered entangled in a web of crabbing gear and at risk of dying, the National Park Service said. A pair of residents first spotted the whale on October 10th off the coast of Gustavus in Alaska. Surrounded by Glacier Bay National Park, Gustavus is bordered by the so-called Icy Strait, a popular ocean feeding ground for humpback whales in the spring, summer, and fall. But this particular whale wasn't feeding. It was seen trailing 2 buoys, making unusual sounds and having trouble moving freely, according to an account of the rescue from the Park Service. When park staff were able to assess the situation from a boat, they found a heavy fishing line winding from the whale's mouth to its tail, ending in a glob of tangled lines at its tail. Wow, that's terrifying. So, like, they have an actual video. Let me bigger that. So, do they actually have a video? Oh, yeah, right there. You can see. Wow. That is heartbreaking. Wow. You know, and something tells me, you know, Chinese fishermen have something to do with this. You know, they're just all over the place. So, wow. That's awful. That's awful. Let's move on up before I start crying. More from NPR. Australian police charge... Oh, yeah, we got... oh, wait, this is something else. Australian police charge a woman with 3 murders and alleged mushroom poisoning. I had a hiccup because I have another article of that funeral home thing later on. You know, different points of view, you know, different sources, same story. You know, as I said, you know. Anyway, the prime suspect in, let's see here, it is the kind of story mystery novelist might conjure, but for months a real murder case has been playing out in the small Australian town where 3 people have died after eating, oh, I remember this. She did this intentionally, right? Or was this something else? I remember some lady intentionally poisoning the food of her family to kill them. The prime suspect in Leoganthana, a country town some 84 miles southeast of Melbourne in Victoria, has long been seen as Erin Patterson, who hosted the lunch in late July, whose 4 guests quickly fell gravely ill. The menu included a beef Wellington dish that Patterson said included mushrooms. Police arrested Patterson on Thursday. She is now charged with 3 counts of murder and 5 counts of attempted murder. The authorities did not name Patterson directly, but the details and circumstances align closely with her case, and national media quickly reported her incident. So I believe this is the same incident I was actually talking about. Somebody had some beef with their in-laws, so they treated them to a poison dinner and killed them. So, allegedly. So, yeah. So there's this. So, you know, we're doing a little bit of a follow-up, I believe, to that story. But then again, it's been so while since I read that original story. I don't really know the exact semantics, whether or not it even is this one. But it does involve food, eating, poisoning, and death. So there's at least those similarities. She even... Yeah, she doesn't look like a good person. So she has a mean mug going on right there. Anyway, let's move on up here. Oh, yeah, this is the other article I talked about, so I don't need to get back into this. Why scientists are reanimating spider corpses for research. No. Stop! Stop it! Yeah, like, to quote out of Jurassic Park, you're so preoccupied with whether or not you could, you didn't stop and ask whether or not you should. Yeah. Yikes. Let's see here. From corpse to claw. Come on, give me the actual article. So, at least that the spider you squashed, it could have been used for science. At least that's what Faye Yap and Danielle Preston think. Yap is a mechanical engineering PhD student in Preston's lab at Rice University, where she co-authorized a paper in reanimating spider corpses to create grippers, or tiny machines used to pick up and put down delicate objects. Yup and Preston dubbed this use of bionic materials for robotic parts necrobiotics, and think this technique could be used one day to think this technique could one day become a cheap green addition to the field. Okay, but I'm not for reanimating spiders for any reason. So they're not really reanimating them. They're just taking control of their, like gripper ability, their limbs and muscles, and so it's not really bringing them back to life. It's just hijacking the body. But that's still, yikes. So, from corpse to claw, who needs necrobotic spiders? Nobody needs necrobotic spiders. Nobody needs necrobotics. Let's leave the dead. We're now messing with the natural order in ways that I cannot support in any fathom. Yikes. But why, though? Who's going to utilize a spider corpse to pick up whatever the hell that is? Like, or anything. Hey, yeah! No. Alright, so we are able to follow through with this. This lady, on her 104-year-old birthday, went skydiving, and it wasn't passed yet, but it was potential of being the Guinness World Record for oldest person skydiving, which it did pass. Unfortunately, this lady died prior to it passing. But yeah, Dorothy Hoffner jumped 13,500 feet from a plane with Skydive Chicago in Ottawa, Illinois on October 1st. She likely died in her sleep on Monday at Brookdale Senior Living, the center said. So, but she does have the record. So posthumously, she got the record. So, closing this chapter, we were able to follow through with this, because I remember talking about this a couple weeks ago, when she actually did the skydiving, and shortly after her actual death. Actually, no, I believe we reported on her skydiving, and then we reported on her death, and then now we're reporting on her achieving the actual record is now set in stone. So, good on you, rest in peace, lady, and good luck to anyone who wants to break that record, like, it's literally a waiting game, so, anyway, and that shall be it. Yeah, ending the show on a high note. Cool. High note. Yeah, that shall be it for the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description for any of the links that you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Our link tree takes you to all of our other video sharing stream sites. We're not just on Rumble or on YouTube. We're also on BitChute, and we are on Odyssey, although we only use Odyssey because of their internal cryptocurrency system to upload the Peanut and maybe a few other shows. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, go check that out and all that stuff. For your dose of different, odd, and unusual news, aka notable events, weather, and sports, we stream every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, which is 4 Mountain, 5 Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you. Until you catch us next week, or if you're interested in some history, we do a history show almost every day at 11 in the morning Pacific Time. We have The Edge of Disclosure, Theod, our ufology, paranormal, and conspiracy show coming up tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And we also have the Peanut coming up on Sunday at 3 or 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Times vary because of schedules. But anyway, until you see us again, whenever that is, wherever that is, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! In stream.